So getting the energy into the tissues and getting toxic electrons out is essentially a matter of access. That's why blood, acting both as a wait staff, delivering the good stuff, and as a hazmat team, taking away the bad stuff, has to be everywhere inside of you. Any tissue without enough blood supply is going to starve to death, your brain included. More access to blood is better. And even in a healthy brain, the blood's delivery system can be improved. And that is where exercise comes in. So how all this works is actually fairly easy to understand. When you exercise, you increase the blood flow across the tissues of your body. Blood flow improves because exercise stimulates the blood vessels to create a powerful flow-regulating molecule called nitric oxide. As the flow improves, the body makes new blood vessels which penetrate deeper and deeper into the tissues of the body. This allows more access to the bloodstream's goods and services, which include food distribution and waste disposal. The more you exercise, the more tissues you can feed, and the more toxic waste you can remove. This happens all over the body, and that's why exercising improves the performance of most human functions. So what's good for the body is good for the brain. Imaging studies have shown us that exercise increases blood volume in a region of the brain called the dentate gyrus. That's a big deal. The dentate gyrus is a vital constituent of the hippocampus, a region deeply involved, as we discussed earlier, in memory formation. This blood flow increase, likely the result of new capillaries, allows more brain cells greater access to the blood's waiting staff, the good stuff, and that hazmat team that takes all the bad stuff away. Another brain-specific effect of exercise is also becoming very clear. Early studies indicate that exercise also aids in the development of healthy tissue by stimulating one of the brain's most powerful growth factors, BDNF. That stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Dr. John Ratey, who I alluded to earlier, is the scientist from Harvard that calls this a substance like Miracle-Gro, a brain fertilizer, if you will. It keeps existing neurons young and healthy and makes them more ready to connect with one another. It also encourages neurogenesis, the creation of new cells. The cells most sensitive to this are in the hippocampus, inside the very regions deeply involved in human cognition. Exercise increases the level of usable BDNF inside those cells. Most researchers believe that this uptick also buffers against the negative molecular effects of stress on our bodies. Okay, we're going to talk more about Dr. John Ratey in another segment, so let's wrap this one up and let's just review a few of the basic and key points from this section regarding the brain. So first of all, we know our brains were meant to move. Remember that 10 to 20 kilometer a day movement that we see in primitive man? To improve your thinking skills, move. Exercise gets blood to your brain. Bring it glucose for energy and oxygen to soak up the toxic electrons that are left over. It also stimulates the protein that keeps neurons connecting. And, as we've talked about a couple times, aerobic exercise just twice a week can halve the risk of your general dementia and cuts the risk of Alzheimer's by almost 60%. In other words, whether you're of an older population or a younger population or anywhere in between, exercise boosts brain power.
Created using Powtoon.